My reason for making this video is simple. I just want to invite you to the wonderful world of watercolors without any confusion. We're going to strip away everything and get down to the absolute essentials so you can create some wonderful watercolor paintings. In this video, we'll cover 5 must-haves. There's paint, paper, brushes, palettes, and water. Let's begin with the foundations, the paper. If you only splurge on one thing, splurge on paper. Here I'll show you, this is paper that is cheap paper, and this is what it does. It buckles and crinkles, and you don't want that. Okay, you want good paper like this. This is arch or arches, sometimes known as arches, and it's a nice rigid paper. It's cold press. It's 140 pounds or 300 grams, and it is 100% cotton. That's the really important thing. 100% cotton. This is bound paper, which is a good paper as well. And just to show you, this is arch paper, and it hardly buckled at all after with a lot of water was applied to it, hardly buckled. So many people struggle with watercolors for no reason other than their paper is of poor quality, okay, which doesn't allow the paint to flow or lift correctly. You will be very happy if you buy good paper. Let me explain the 3 ways of buying paper, watercolor paper. So you can buy separate sheets like this, bigger than this, and then you can buy the watercolor paper in a pad, so it's glued at the top, and it's easy and portable and easy to rip off the paper from the pad. Okay, and then there's a block. And a block's something I have to explain. So this is a block, and what makes it a block is that it's got this glue all the way around, except for right here. Okay, right here. So, see, glue, glue, no glue. Okay. And here, this is green, and so that's just a protective cover. That green comes off. Let me just take that off. Now, say you have a painting on here, and how are you going to get the painting off this block? Pretty easy. So where there's no glue, right here, okay, no glue, you could put your nail or some sort of a tool. This is you can use your fingernail to do that, or you can use this palette knife, and then you carefully, okay, and then bring it all the way around. I don't want to take it entirely off the block, but once you take your palette knife carefully all the way around, you can lift it off easily. So, mystery solved on how to take block paper off the block. Okay, let's talk about paint now. So, watercolor comes in pans, which is like this, and tubes, which is like this, and this is a palette with half pans in it. Okay, and the pans go in like that. The colors that I use the most are cadmium red, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, sap green, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and black. Now, these colors are dry right now, and to activate them, you just simply use a spray bottle and just wet them, and then they are ready to paint. And you don't throw them out after you're done painting. Watercolor paper or paint is very expensive, and you don't want to waste it. So you just let it dry, and then when you come back to paint again, reactivate your paint. Now, when it comes to watercolors that come in a set like this is a Winsor Newton set. It's a nice set. And when you get it new, all these little pans have cellophane on them. And so you should take all that cellophane off before class. And also make a nice little map of where all your colors are. If you want to know what color they are, the pans are, they come out. And you can see right here on the side, it'll tell you what color it is. If you use a palette like this, I've labeled all mine. And then there's no confusion when the teacher says, take out your yellow ochre. You won't be looking around, scratching your head, saying, what is that? All right. Next, we're going to go to the palette. Okay, with the palette, it's pretty simple. You use it for mixing, so you put your paints in the wells, and then you pull out some paint, such as this. Clean my brush, and then another color, and you mix it together, and then you use this color to paint with. All right, and your palette, as I mentioned before, should have your colors labeled. You can use a palette like this. You can use just a plain piece of plastic here with your colors around the sides. If you have a set like this one, okay, which is rather nice, and you can use all these areas for painting, for mixing, and also this comes out and you can mix here as well. So and you, as you can see, I've added in extra little colors in here, so that's kind of handy to have. Next we will talk about water. Why use 2 jars of water? Well, the first one is called a dirty rinse. This is your workhorse container. Every time you finish using a color like deep blue and want to switch to a new one like bright yellow, you vigorously rinse your brush in this jar. It will quickly turn a murky, dark gray-brown. So the second jar, that's your clean source. This jar stays pristine. You never put a dirty, paint-filled brush into it. Instead, you only dip into this jar when you need pure water to mix a fresh, luminous puddle of paint on your palette, or when you want to pre-wet your paper for a smooth sky wash. Let's talk about brushes now. All right, so all these, I've got a whole slew of brushes that you won't need. Okay, so I've just collected them over the years. So basically, this is all you need. This one, this round brush, and this round brush. Oh, sorry, this one and this one, and a rigger, and you don't have to have one, but this is a flat brush, and it's kind of helpful too. I have to explain a few things about brushes to you. When you go to the store, you're going to be looking for, say, a number 3 brush, or a number, let's see, what's this one? a number 12 brush, and maybe a number 0 brush, okay? And you're going to find that there is all kinds of brushes that say 12. This one says 12, but it's not like this black one. This brown one, the brown one and black one are not the same, but they're still both 12. Well, that's because this brand is I don't know what it is, Fumui. And this brand is, it's a square hair, okay? So the numbers are just to compare two brushes of the same brand, okay? So the higher the number, the bigger the brush is, the bristles are, okay? So this is the belly of the bristles. When you're working with this one, which is a rigger, it has long bristles, which I'll explain in a little while. So they have different numbers too. You could probably get a 12 rigger and it won't look anything like this 12 over here, okay? And this is a flat brush and it's also a 12. So there you go. You got all kinds of 12s and they don't look alike at all. So that's going to be a little frustrating for you, but if you are aware of what these numbers mean, then you'll have a leg up when you go to buy your brushes. So let's talk about type of brushes. This brush is a synthetic brush. It's made out of nylon. And synthetic brushes are not very expensive and they're just fine for beginners. And then you can go to a more expensive brush, which is a squirrel's hair or natural bristles. So squirrel's hair would be natural. And they're more expensive. So unless you really want to get into it and be like an amazing full-time artist, you don't have to buy these because they're very expensive. When you're working with this one, which is a rigger, it has long bristles, which I'll explain in a little while. So they have different numbers too. And you could probably get a 12 rigger and it won't look anything like this 12 over here, okay? And this is a flat brush and it's also a 12. So there you go. You got all kinds of 12s and they don't look alike at all. So that's going to be a little frustrating for you, but if you are aware of what these numbers mean, then you'll have a leg up when you go to buy your brushes. So let's talk about type of brushes. This brush is a synthetic brush. It's made out of nylon. And synthetic brushes are not very expensive and they're just fine for beginners. And then you can go to a more expensive brush, which is so let's see what these brushes do. All right, so I'm going to take this number 12 and I'm going to wet I got to activate my paint here. All right, and then I'm going to go into this purple color here. And you can see that a number 12 brush is very wide. And because this brush has a nice point on it, I can get some pretty fine stuff out of that too. So I'll put it in dirty water, then clean water. I'll put it over here. All right, now this is a 0 brush and going into the purple paint again. And this makes a finer line. But it doesn't hold a lot of paint, okay? You can't just kind of go on forever with that. So, but the rigger, that's a whole different story. Now the rigger, if you put that in the purple paint, you can get a nice fine line. And you can also make random lines, but look at that, it'll stay for a long time. There's a lot of paint in this in the belly of the bristles there, the belly of the paintbrush. All right, now, oops, clean water. I'm going to use the flat brush and the flat brush is good for doing this type of thing. So if you need a kind of like a, not a straight line, but a, you know, vertical or horizontal lines, that works well. And also you can do something like this and also get this sort of oh, I don't even know what to call it, but sometimes I use that for making stuff like wood grain. So these were very useful for that, but you don't have to buy that. Okay, so this is what I'd recommend. I'd recommend maybe, let's see, a number 8 brush, something this wide. So if I'll put my finger next to it and you can see how wide it is. And then a 0 brush, see how small that is. And a rigger, okay. And look how long that bristle is, very long. Those 3 brushes, they can be your workhorses. And this one can be something that you put in the saddlebag in case you want it. That's it for today. If this video was helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss a tutorial. Now, if you're ready to dive into painting, I have a whole library of easy watercolor lessons right here on my YouTube channel. But first, answer this in the comments. Do you know why watercolor paper is sold in blocks? Drop your thoughts below and join me in one of my easy watercolor lessons.